Sports Talk with L-Beasley. You know, I know I'm like a half a day late. I watched Game 7, but I did not do the episode right after Game 7. So I just want to talk about Boston, Miami Game 7. I'm gonna break down what I thought and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do my predictions yet on Oklahoma, Miami. I'm gonna say that probably for Tuesday exactly, so y'all can see it on Tuesday right before the game start. So don't expect that. I'm just gonna talk about Game 7 and give you my thoughts. First of all, I'm gonna talk about the Heat. You know I'm talking about the Heat. LeBron James, I'm liking it. I'm liking what I see. I ain't gonna like it. I love it. I'm loving the aggression that I saw. I mean, yeah, he struggled 9-21, but I'm not even really focused on that. He still had that same demeanor, and towards the end of the game, he stepped up, which is something that I like. It's something. Now, like I said, now I still don't think he's 5 seconds clutch, but he is starting to show me that clutch that I've been wanting to see, which is fourth quarter. I want the ball, whether it's I'm making a play with the ball, whether I'm making a play passing it off, or I'm making a play by shooting or driving into the hole. I like what I'm seeing out of LeBron James. Like I said, he struggled, yeah, 9-21 and jazz like that, but I still like it. The 12 rebounds was still impressive. The only thing, you know, was the little assist thing, but like I always say about assists, you can be throwing the best passes and giving your teammates the best opportunity to score. If they don't make the shot, you don't get the assist. So I don't really focus too much on that. I also got to give big ups to Shane Battier and Chris Bosh for stepping up, because like I said, no player can do this by themselves. LeBron James has been somewhat carrying his team at times, and he needs help. It's no different than when he was in Cleveland. It's no different for anybody else. Anybody who has a championship knows that they've had help. Kobe had help. San Antonio Spurs, that's a team full of help. Pistons, I don't care whatever team I bring up. Dallas, Dirk, he had help. No team can do it by themselves. I mean, no person can do it by themselves. They need a team. So I was happy that Shane and Chris Bosh stepped up, because that's what they needed. Dwayne Wade, I mean, point-wise, yeah, he scored 23, but he still started off very slow. He was very shaky. You know, he didn't shoot that well either, 8 of 17. I mean, that's decent. It's not horrible. It's 50%, but he still seemed like he off to me. I don't know. You know, I've been hearing rumors, oh, it's the knee. I guess we can say it's the knee, but, you know, after what Kobe does half the time with broken kneecaps and stuff like that, the injury stuff really don't matter, but I think he needs to do what he has to do, because he's going to be huge in the finals. You can't, Shane, I mean, all these guys are going to be huge. And then, you know, let me talk about Boston. Big ups to Boston. You know, Boston, once again, it was very few people who said Boston was going to not necessarily win this series, but even compete in this series. Most people thought, as the first 2 games, Boston's probably going to get swept. And even after they won the first game, they was like, oh, don't worry about it. Miami going to take care of it Game 4, and they're going to go home and take care of Game 5. And you know what? We went to 7 games. And this was a heck of a game down to like the last 6-5 minutes when LeBron scored that almost half-court 3. So, I mean, I got to give big ups and respect to Boston. I mean, the big thing with me with Boston is I'm just going to always wonder, what if Avery Bradley and Jeff Green have been healthy? You know, that's the big question. You know, I'm not really surprised that they lost. Like I said, if you go back to my previous episode, I said Miami was going to win, so I did not pick Boston. I might have been rooting for Boston a little bit just because I like Boston, but I was, you know, I said Miami was going to win. This was not a surprise. I think at the end of the game, you know, just the people who stepped up in the first half they couldn't continue in the second half. Brandon Bass was huge in the first half, but it just seemed like he kind of slowed down. Defensive-wise, LeBron went on a rampage like we want him to do. Pierce was inconsistent later. Ray couldn't really hit too many. Kevin was struggling the whole game, and to me, if Kevin's struggling, that team struggles in the end. I mean, Kevin has to get going if that team is really going to be successful. So, I mean, like I said, big ups to Miami, man. Like I said, y'all going to the finals for the 2nd time in a row. Let's see if y'all get it done this year. I mean, you know, I hope y'all do, because then we can move. Well, we're not going to move on, but we'll at least give the props to Heat for winning. LeBron, you know, we'll get off your back a little bit. But like I said, Heat, I like what I saw last night. Like I said, with Shane Battier, Chris Bosh stepping up, that's what it has to be. Now we need Chalmers. Now we need Haslam, Mike Miller, anybody, you know, anybody who's going to have an influential role on this next series, because you're going to have to step up. Oklahoma's not going to be easy. This is probably about to be one of the best final showdowns we've had in a couple years. You know, depending on what you like. This is about to be real. You know, both teams are great in transition. Both have great role players. Well, I ain't going to say great. Both have good role players, but yet they're inconsistent. It's going to be the battle of Kevin Durant versus LeBron. We're going to probably have Cephalosha checking Dwayne Wade. I'm interested to see that. We're going to have to see what Chalmers can do against Westbrook. I mean, this is going to be a good battle. Of course, the biggest thing we're looking forward to is LeBron James and Kevin Durant. It's just, I just want to say this too. It's ironic because when one of my Twitter fans asked me to break down who I thought was better between Kevin Durant and LeBron. And even though LeBron won by 1 point, when I broke him down, I gave it a tie because I had a feeling that this could happen. Even though I picked San Antonio to go to the final, I just don't expect them to do that. But I wasn't expecting them to lose to Oklahoma City and get swept, basically. This is why I called it a tie, because now we have both teams, OKC and Heat, in the finals. And this is going to determine for me who is the best player between the two. I got a little flack for that. You know, oh, well, Lauren, you can't tie him up. I do think LeBron is technically, he does have an edge over him, just over Kevin Durant, just merely because of his size and his defensive versatility. But this is going to show me right here. Whoever gets this championship and leads their team, this is going to show me right now. This is going to be the tiebreaker for me. So, you know, I know I got a little flack for that, so I just wanted to mention that. It's ironic how y'all gave me flack and now they both in the finals. So, this is going to be that tiebreaker, so you can expect after 7 games, 6 games, however many games we go in this finals, you can definitely expect me to say, you know, either LeBron is the best or Kevin Durant is the best. You know, I still think technically Kobe's #1 right now, but, you know, we'll see who's #2. But, you know, I just want to say once again, congratulations to the Heat. And Doc Rivers, great job with this team, man. You know, you are one of the main reasons that Boston went this far. You're a great coach. I can't wait to see what you're going to do now that they probably about to disband the original Big Three. So, I mean, I'm excited for the finals, man. But like I said, big ups to the Heat, man. LeBron James, you showing me what I want to see. I want to see it for the finals, and I want to see it for the rest of your career, win or lose. I want to see it for the rest of your career. I want to keep seeing what I'm seeing tonight. If that means you not passing as much, so be it. Go and do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to be a little selfish. That's what we want you to do sometimes, LeBron. I love your unique unselfishness, but sometimes I want you to be a little selfish, and you see what's happening when you're a little bit selfish. This is the second game in a row where you've gone crazy and you helped your team win clutch games, and you didn't have that many assists. So this is what I want you to do, Brian. Like I say, still pass it. Still, if you feel you got a better opportunity for your teammate, do it. But this is what I want to see out of LeBron. I'm proud of what you're doing. Now I need the rest of the Heat to help him out. Help him out now, because I don't want to have to come back and be like, well, LeBron once again did this by himself, or I don't want to have to come back and say, oh, LeBron choked like he did against the Dallas series. So I want LeBron to step up, and I want the Heat to step up. And okay, see, you know what it is. Just keep doing what y'all doing. I'm ready to see this finals. I'm definitely going to do another episode very soon to give you my predictions and why, how many games, all that jazz, go to X Factors, all that. You know how I do. So thank you for tuning in to this brief segment of Sports Talk with L-Beasley.